Oh, don't claw me. All right. It's smack in the middle of her left butt cheek. I'm Mario, but ate too many mushrooms in this world and my hair became one. Hey guys, it's Adam K. Swimming Bird, and welcome to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch. This is part 19, so if you missed any episodes so far, please check out the description to get caught up. Last time we found our first memory, which unlocked a story cutscene right before an intense fight with a Lionel, one of the scariest enemies in the game, and then we topped that off by taking on a Hinox mini-boss as well, so if all that wasn't tough enough on poor Link here, we've been climbing our way up the grueling, monster-filled Mount Lineru. There's something spooky waiting at the summit. Speaking of spooky, we got an enemy here that I don't think we have seen yet. This is a Stall Lizalfos, just as fast as their less bony brothers, but a little creepier. And they have something cool with their arms. I found this on accident. He had a sweet bow as well. Their arms, usually I'll just throw away the Stall enemy arms because they don't last that long and they try to grab Link's thigh. But this one, I found out that if you throw it, it actually comes back. It functions as a boomerang, and I guess the Lizalfos love their boomerangs so much that it's like literally in their bones to have them. There we go. That worked well. This area is just crazy dense with enemy variety. We got fat birds. There's 3 types of Lizalfos. I don't think we've even seen the icy ones yet. And then, the icy Keese, the white Choo-Choo. There's those little stone talus peblets that are adorable. And of course, wolves. You don't want to forget those. They'll bite you if you forget them. That's what they do. Here we go. We got a Knight's Claymore. That is really strong. That might be not the most powerful weapon we found, but it's definitely going to help me take this guy out. Or we can just poke him. Save that for a better enemy than this blue Lizalfos. I know you're cooler than the green ones, but I'm still just going to poke you with my backup spear. There we go. Hey, give me that tail. I went around the other one, but I didn't want to get him on my bad side as well. You might notice as we're running here that Link actually goes slower in the deep snow, and that's something that we can alleviate later on with a piece of gear, but right now it kind of makes this trek even tougher. It slows you down, makes your cold resistance run out faster. This is just a very difficult area, especially early in the game. I don't think most people are intended to try this at this point, but we're giving it a shot because there's something really cool waiting at the summit. Oh, I didn't think it was coming back, so I didn't grab it. There we go. If you ever lose the boomerang, then Magnesis is your friend as long as it's a metal boomerang. Here we go. But yeah, this is also going to help. Just taking down this amount of enemies early on is, now I lost it. Taking down these enemies early is going to be useful later because a lot of stuff uses, icy Lizalfos tails or icy Keese wings, very specific stuff like that. Let's use that trick I just mentioned. See if I can find my lost boomerang. Is it back there? There it is, yeah. See, I would have missed it otherwise, but I got it. Okay, and I don't think we haven't even seen the normal Lizal boomerang. The forked one is really cool looking. The normal one just looks like a sword that they bent and learned to throw, so it's kind of like they got makeshift weaponry. I also really like that, we had like a bow, like the different types of enemies all have their own unique weapon culture, like what stuff they like to use or prefer. I wonder if this guy is he looks like he could be icy. You can't really tell until they start to lose that camouflage. Yeah, so they have a special attack that he might do here. There it is. He can spit those icy bombs to try to freeze me, and if I get hit when I'm frozen, I take 3 times the damage, but just hit him with a flame weapon, and there we go. He is gone. Ooh, there it is, the Lizal boomerang. Just looks like a bent sword. And we got a Lizal shield as well. Let me drop one of my other ones. I've been saving my wooden shield because we're gonna start running into adverse weather and lightning in the future, and I want to be prepared. Okay, we got a ton of weapons here, and there's something scary, as I mentioned, ahead, so we're well prepared. I think I've actually got enough ore, especially after the diamond that we found behind the Hinox. I think I've got enough ore now to go back to Hateno this episode and finally get that house I have been meaning to purchase. And as a side effect, the mop is going to be retired, at least for a little while. I'm going to hang up my mop that I've had since the very beginning of the game. I've been holding on to it. It's kind of taken up a spot in my inventory, but I'm just about ready to let it rest. Maybe we'll bring it back out for an important battle towards the end. But anyways, we're almost at the summit. This is really cool. I was not expecting to get to the top of this mountain and see what we are about to see here. There's a butterfly frozen in the cutscene. It's so cool, but creepy. I think humans have that innate fear of serpentine monsters and, snakes and stuff, so it makes it even creepier. It's covered in malice. You have done well to find your way to this spring. And I like how Link's blushing because he's just cold. He's not embarrassed. You who have overcome numerous trials and obtained the spirit orbs. Gotta get him some pumpkin soup to warm him up. The one you see before you is an attendant to the Spring of Wisdom. This is Naydra, the blue spirit of Lanayru. This servant of the goddess has looked over the shrines of the spirits of this land for ages, unknown to the world of man. However, the dreaded malice, unleashed by Calamity Ganon, has possessed its body and reduced it to this state. You who have received the spirit orbs, free Naydra from this malice. Show what your power can achieve. It's just lousy with eyes, so it fits in with the Zelda world perfectly. But yeah, we gotta help it by getting rid of the malice here. There's a dragonfly that I just missed. There we go, and now it is not gonna be too happy with Link. I love this thing. It's so creepy but cool. There it goes. All right, I'm gonna chase it. We're going up towards the actual summit. Yeah, it's beautiful but sad in a way. It's this cool monster that has unfortunately been corrupted by Ganon, and it's nice enough to make this little gust around me so that we can kind of make our way up here a little easier with the paraglider. So I gotta find one of those eyes to aim at. This is a good time to use my Phrenic bow because then you can aim and shoot at it a little bit easier. Just gotta pick the right one to shoot at. There we go. I don't know if I can hit it from way over here. I'm gonna get a little closer if I can. Get up on one of these. The gust isn't that consistent when it pops in, so I'm gonna have to do my best to hit one of these eyes from really far away. See if I can actually get one. She'll go over the mountain here. This is probably a better spot to aim. Don't claw me. All right. It's almost there. Get it. There we go. All right, we got one. And now she's gonna move her way down the mountain, so we're gonna have to give chase. It's crazy to see this dragon kind of running from Link. I think the malice is like, hey, get to safety. You're my minion. But we're gonna help it by getting rid of the rest of these eyes. But yeah, this is just a cool way to get down the mountain as well. We get to see Hateno in the distance. I'm wondering what those people down there are thinking is happening. They're like, oh man, that guy that was just going through town, he's gonna kill us all. He's angered the great spirit of Mount Lanayru. Okay, this might be a good time to try to blast the tail spot. Ooh. Yeah, it fires so straight that I'm not used to not having to compensate for that sort of thing. This is not good. Ooh. Oh. Uh-oh. I think we're okay. Yeah, jeez. Usually if you're close enough, you can get another gust and it will restore your stamina, but unfortunately, we got a little bit too far from Naydra. Hopefully she'll give me another gust here. Oh, I need your help, Naydra! Oh, we're kind of going here. There we are, heading down to the snowfield that shares her name. And there's a little bit more malice somewhere to get. I think it's on the back there. There it is. Let me see if I can get it while we're heading by. Yeah, oh, I think we got it. Or maybe we hit the wrong side. We got to hit it right in the eye. I think it shielded it. And the eyes won't actually open until you get to the next area. So you got to you can't just hit it all at once. There we go. That's what I was talking about. So she gave me a little lift. Okay, we got this. I think this might be the last one. She's so cool. All right, we did it. You beautiful purple serpent. Show your true form. Haha. Yeah, she's definitely a little bit more elegant with this form, but I like the kind of corrupted form as well. So, of course, Naydra was a dragon, if you didn't figure that out by now. I was trying to dance around it a little bit. But, yeah, it's really cool to have these peaceful, nice spirits actually have, ways they can try to attack you at first. Like, we gotta earn the trust of this dragon in a way. Thanks to your efforts, Naydra, the spirit of Mount Lanayru, has been freed from the grips of an evil power. But a single ceremony remains. Now loose your arrow through the body of Naydra to free the spirit of this region. So let's get a different bow here, but we actually have to hit it. It doesn't matter where you hit Naydra. I feel bad about this. You can hit it on the horn, crest, or anything, and you'll still get a scale by... I missed. I'll just hit it right on the nose. There we go. Aw. We gotta do it. I'm sorry. And she's gonna fly off. Looks like Rudolph there. Through the snow. And the music is really nice, too. This is the true version of the dragon song. We heard the corrupted one before that was all spooky. That is the spirit Naydra's scale. It fell where your arrow struck. It serves as proof of the courage you received from the one who served the spring since ancient times. Come, offer a scale from the blue spirit Naydra to the spring of wisdom. So we can go grab that. Naydra's gonna go fly off into the distance. Whenever you shoot one of these dragons with an arrow and they drop a piece of themselves, then they just fly off for the rest of the day, and they'll reappear in the morning. I'll save that. We don't have to really track a dragon necessarily, because I know where they're going to pop up, and they are kind of tough to miss. But yeah, she's going to go into this big cloud wormhole and disappear. But this is really cool. There's multiple dragons. As you might have guessed, that one was named after one of the goddesses. And here's her scale that can be cooked or put in an elixir, and parts of dragons actually extend the amount of time that in effect will last much farther than you would normally get. So the scales, there's also fangs and claws, but also the horns are the best piece, and that will extend things to 30 minutes. So you can get a 30-minute, effect like cold resistance or something like that. We're gonna toss this first one down into the spring though, because that will unlock something for us behind the goddess statue. This is the, if you watched the memory cutscene last time, this is the area that Zelda was coming down from, and was traveling. She traveled to this on a pilgrimage. Your path has shown itself. Now go forth. And unlike the fireflies in that one quest in Kakariko, we can't quickly grab the scale. It dissolves into the spring. But it's one of those things where when I first got that, I was worried. I was like, oh man, is that the only scale that I'm gonna have? Like, is that once in a game sort of thing? But you can get as many as you want. You can keep coming back to where the dragons dwell and blast them with arrows. Again, I feel bad about it. It's almost like killing the wolves in the game, where it's like, it's necessary to do certain things like that, but it always makes me feel a little bad. We're not really hurting it. We're just chipping off a little bit. Okay, and we got a blessing waiting for us. So another one of those trials that involves, doing something in the world, and then you get the blessing instead of having to go through another puzzle or something after all that. So let's open her up. And we got something really cool. This is a frost spear, a magical spear forged from ancient ice taken from the Hebra Mountains. So that's another region. And I gotta get rid of something here. Let me see. I'll just get rid of this boomerang. It's gonna try to come back. Nope. I was like, go boomerang. You gotta get, like, shooing a beloved pet away that you can't have anymore. Get out of here. I still love boomerangs, but I had to say goodbye. Okay, look at that cool frost spear. That is going to allow us, like an ice arrow, to put that icy effect on enemies. We've turned that back on them now, that we kept getting frozen so much on this mountain and from the Lionel. But now we have turned the tables, and we can use that against something. I'm going to save that, because the elemental weapons tend to be pretty few and far between. There are areas you can consistently get them, but at the same time, it is good to, save that for something you really want to do that 3 times critical damage on from freezing. So before we leave, we are going to go hop around a little bit, because I mentioned we can buy the house, we can do a bunch of stuff this episode, and also now that we have the first memory, we are going to go back and see Impa, because she has something really cool waiting for us. But before we leave the mountain here, there is a spot I want to go to down past the Madorna Mountains right here. I'm going to mark that with a nice little pin, so it'll be easier to find, and we can just head straight towards it. But I'm going to glide down there because there is another shrine. If you talk to someone in Hateno Village, it's this lady behind the dye shop. She's on the dock back there. She will actually tell you... Ooh, don't want to miss that. Hold on. Rush rooms are, I only find so many, and we want to get our climbing gear enhanced eventually here. But yeah, so there's a lady on the dock behind the dye shop in Hateno. She will give you a quest about these 3 cedars. And if you look off on those mountains, each peak has a cedar tree on top, and they all are lined up. And if you face the sea and follow where they're all pointing, that is the hint to find this little cave down here and another shrine. So we're kind of circumventing that. If we go back and talk to her in Hateno, she'll be like, oh, you've already done that. It's kind of cool how they account for if you've already completed a quest that they might tell you about. And a good indicator that a shrine has something really nice inside is if an NPC actually tells you, hey, you might want to look for this place. Because there we go. Ooh, another rush room. Get as many as I can. I think we can enhance another piece of my climbing gear. So yeah, here we are. We got another shrine hidden behind these stones here. And we're gonna, I think by the end of this episode, we should have enough orbs to finally get my next ring of stamina completed. This one is gonna actually be more of a puzzle though. It was a little too easy just following the mountain path and finding it. They're gonna test us even more because this is another piece of gear that is gonna be super helpful. So let's go get it. Or wait, this is a blessing. Sorry, I was thinking of another shrine that we're gonna do in a second. Sorry, this is a blessing, because we did something in the outside world. We solved a puzzle in the overworld. But here we go, the climbing boots. This is the last piece of our ancient technology gymwear. So let's put this all on here, and you guys can see the complete climbing set. I apologize for mixing up my shrines. But yeah, Link is now maxed out with his climbing speed bonus from gear, by default. I think we could still use a speed enhancing potion to climb a little faster, but this is going to be so helpful. This is part of why I went up the mountain in the first place, was not only do we have that awesome dragon that I wanted to show you guys, but I wanted to make sure that we got all 3 of the climbing set, because it speeds up so much stuff when you can just climb. I'll tend to wear the normal armor just if I'm going to jump up a ledge, but if you got a big climb ahead, then yeah, having all 3 pieces is going to be super helpful. And then when we start getting set bonuses later in the game from the Great Fairies, then it's really cool. So we'll have that in a little bit. For now, we are going to teleport away and head back to Kakariko. You can let's do a little demonstration of just how much faster he climbs. Hoop, 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 hoop. There he goes. Just nimbly going up the wall. So yeah, it is nice to have that extra bonus. I'm gonna, we got something to do in Kakariko outside of checking with Impa. I want to head to the fairy fountain, because remember I got that rush room, but we lost a bunch of fairies last episode. I think I lost one from the Lionel fight, and, or maybe, I can't even remember if I got hit by some ice arrows, I remember that, but the Lionels can really knock you around, so I got lucky there, but the mountain, Mount Lanayru was really using up a bunch of my fairies, the icy enemies there, because of that critical damage from being frozen. I just burned through my fairies, so let's go get some more. And the fairy fountain replenishes when you use your fairies. There is a trick where you can actually hold your fairies in your hands, like a piece of food or materials, and if you do that and go to a fairy fountain, then you can trick the game into thinking you have less fairies in your inventory than you really do, because, you're holding on to those fairies. It's a bloopy. Kind of need some rupees for that house. I'm sorry, Mr. Bloopy. Thank you for the 3 colors of rupees you gave me. Yeah, and he's going to pop up again here in just a second. If you see it in that first spot, then it's always here as well. Aww, poor thing. Yeah, I have a tendency to feel bad about hitting things, even though it's a video game. So yeah, now that we're over here, as long as I don't run around, we should be able to just walk right up to these fairies. There we go. My cold resistance is just running out. It worked out perfectly there. We didn't run out while we were on the mountain. So yeah, now I think I've got 3 fairies. We had 4 to begin with, so it kind of sets you up where once you start burning through them, unless you do some tricks and finagling, then you're not really ever going to have too many fairies on you. Grab some silent princesses and stuff too. So yeah, it is the game's trying to limit how easy it is to just revive yourself, so you still have those stakes, of course, but at the same time, having the fairies takes a big chunk of the difficulty out. So if you're ever struggling with stuff, that's a weird thing to say when you jump out of the ground or the water of your giant flower home. But yeah, let's do the pants that we just got. There we go. And we'll skip the blast of fairy dust, of course. That animation is gonna change and get creepier though as we start to get better sets of gear. All right, so she's going to tell us about set bonuses again, but we know all that. Hi-ya! She's going to chop me, sounds like. Okay, so let's go talk to Impa. Most of the sets of armor and pieces of armor have that trade-off where it's like, okay, this piece of armor might be better in terms of defense, like the knight's armor that we saw in Hateno, but it doesn't really have any secondary effects, which is, that makes sense for balancing. One thing that's a little unfortunate with the climbing set, I'm not a huge fan of the look of it. It definitely is helpful, but it has the same amount of armor when you enhance it and everything as the normal Hylian set that I'm wearing right now. So it's almost like there's not really a reason to wear the Hylian set once you enchant that. But the other side of it is that the Hylian set's actually much easier to enchant because it uses less materials. Okay, so let's talk to Impa. We got our first memory recovered, and she'll have some new stuff to say. Now that you have seen some of the princess's memories, you must have started to remember certain things. Here, I will hand this over to you now before I forget. Haha, and kind of unceremoniously, actually, we got the champion's tunic, the iconic tunic for this game. In ancient Hyrule, this garment could only be worn by one who had earned the respect of the royal family. Equipping it will reveal an enemy's life gauge. So that is super helpful. This is something of yours that I have been keeping safe by request of the princess. This clothing was specially made for you when you became a champion. Please handle it with care. So there we go. And speaking of armor that has better effects and is just better in general, the champion tunic, even without having any enhancements, is stronger than my enhanced Hylian tunic. So we're going to retire the green tunic, at least for now, and switch over to the box art link. We got the hood, we look like the one amiibo. But yeah, I like the style of this. He's got the arm guard and everything, and it does show enemy life gauge, which it makes it a lot easier because you can see where enemies are, even if they're kind of hiding. So there's some trade-offs in terms of difficulty if you want to use this. Oops, sorry. I didn't touch your rump or anything. She just started up, really. I didn't mean to run into her. It's a little lonely here now that the Sheikah heirloom is gone. Still, I'm so happy it was of use to you. From now on, if there's anything I can do for you, please promise you won't hesitate to let me know. We got one little hidden thing here. We asked her this before, but now we get a different answer. Me? You want to know my story? Well, my name is Paya. The reason I was named Paya is because I have a birthmark shaped like a papaya seed. Where is it? Oh, it's on my left, so this was mysterious before, but it's smack in the middle of her left butt cheek. Grandmother! Oh dear, is there anything else I can help you with? I'm good, thanks. That's enough. Good luck. So yeah, Impa is just being blunt now that we've finished some stuff in the game. She's just like, it's on her butt cheek. No use dancing around it. Okay, so one last thing here. We're gonna go to Hateno Village and buy that house. So we got our cool tunic. We have completed a couple shrines. And I want to make sure we got the house so that I can drop off that mop, like I mentioned, and retire it for a while. But also, having the house is useful for other reasons. We can do some other stuff there. We can store weapons, shields, bows, and stuff like that. But also, if we fully upgrade it, there's a lot of cool things like having a bed that you don't have to pay for, a cooking fire that's always lit, cool stuff like that. So I think it's worth the 3,000 rupees. And 30 wood that we have to put into it. I think we have the wood, but we're going to have to sell some stuff to get those rupees. If not, then we can just blast a couple trees here. So let's double check. And then we might actually finish off. We need a couple pieces here, so let me just blast these. But yeah, we might finish the episode by going back towards the stable that we found really early on, the outskirts stable, because I didn't get the shrine there. And also, we're going to grab a horse because one more thing, one little area I want to show you guys before we head towards the first dungeon is Central Hyrule. There's some memories there that we can get, and there's just lots of cool stuff. This is a very dangerous place filled with guardian stalkers, so I think I'm going to try my luck. We had good luck with the Lionel. I think I'm going to try my hand at fighting one of them pretty early in the game, so that'll be exciting. But, it's good to get some extra shrines and stuff as well as we go through, because that means that we get more orbs, and I can start getting more hearts here pretty soon. I just got to get that last piece of stamina so I can have it nice and even on my stamina wheel. So yeah, I think we got enough precious stuff here. The luminous stones sell for quite a bit as well, so I'm going to get rid of all of those. We can always get more later. the first area we're going to for the dungeon, is gonna have a lot of luminous stones, so I don't have to worry too much about selling too much of this stuff. Let's just get rid of every single one, and we'll collect more as we go. There we go. Well over 3,000 rupees. Thank you, shopkeep. I hope you can keep your place running here, because we just gave us so many rupees. But they got a lot of good stuff here. I'm sure people come from all around to see their weird box houses. Okay, when I see these square houses, it kind of make, square things always make me think of Minecraft now. But it's kind of weird how the developers did actually mention Minecraft, Terraria, and a couple of other games as influences on this game. So it's kind of cool to see those, like those golden bonus hearts. So let's talk to Bolson. Hey, you ready to deliver 30 wood bundles? I'll pay your price. Okie do, I'll grab them from you. Here you are. All I needed to see, good faith wood. You're obviously serious about this, and now I know. So as promised, I'll sell you this old house for the low price of 3,000 rupees. Once you've got the money together, come grab me. I've got it. Hi. Did you get 3,000 rupees together? I'm ready. Seriously? You're really gonna give me 3,000 rupees, like with 3 zeros? You aren't just posturing. I'll shell out. No way! Talk about studly. I'll just take that off your hands. Sing-songing all the livelong day. Thanks for the sweet investment. Spending so much money on anything at your age, it's just so studly. There's a weapon mount in there that's never sold. Consider it a housewarming gift. Hope you get some use out of it. So next job time, baby. What I have lined up again. Oh yeah, that's what's next. I was gonna send Hudson up a call away to clear some land. So let's talk to Hudson here. This is the beginning of another quest as well. Hudson, he really looks like Mario in a lot of ways. He's kind of like Talon from in Milan. Yeah, the ranch owner from Ocarina, who is also influenced by Mario. But this is like a cautionary tale for. Yeah, what are you doing? I'm Mario, but ate too many mushrooms in this world, and my hair became one. Taking a break. By the way, did you buy that house? Yes. Impressive. You're just a pup. Come again? Don't worry about it. Anyway, what? Looks like I've got to head out and leave this place soon. Why? I've been transferred. Transferred? Might have heard, but Bolson Construction is planning to expand big time. That's great. Yeah, big expansion. Where will you go? Zora's domain is north of here. We're going there as well. We're going north of that, though, an area called Akala region. That's pretty far. Yeah, well, good luck. Okay, then. And this is really, I love this part. Well, no time like the present, right? Should be getting on my way. If you'd like, you should come to the Akala region and say hello. Well, take care of yourself. Goodbye. Beautiful. That little piano music I love. But also, that was kind of strange. I think there's a twist where maybe Link has been dead this whole time or something, because he just phased right through me. Anyways, this is our house, which means, at long last, we're hanging up our mop. We'll see you later, buddy. It's now our place where we can go and hang out and look at the empty spots. Yeah, this will all fill in later if we decide to talk to Bolson. We could expand it before he goes to bed. Let's do one expansion here. Hi. So the both of us sort of hit a personal milestone, huh? Time to kick back and get leisurely, baby. Though you look a bit judgmental for such a fine moment, you're looking at me like we should both keep working at it. Huh, you don't even have to say it. Oh, wow, I just bought a house and it's totally empty and depressing. Oh, sure, that's you to a T. I see it in your eyes. Yep, I was just like you about a lifetime ago. So tell you what, let me help by taking care of furniture or the exterior or anything really for 5,000 rupees. Actually, no, scratch that. For you, let's start at 100 rupees. Let's cruise on by whenever you have the cash. Yeah, just cruise on by whenever you have the spending cash and we'll talk. He kind of reminds me of Tom Nook a little bit. This is very Animal Crossing. Hi, need something from me? So let's ask him to build us something. What you want? I think I'm going to do a gear display. And we could do, actually, I might hang on to that shield. I was going to say, we could leave that wooden shield that's nice, but I think I might hang on to it because it's not going to be too long before we get to some lightning-filled areas. But yeah, we can have a bed, we can have lighting, you could build a door, and a bunch of different stuff. If you aren't doing anything useful, why don't you see if you can get this dance to catch on? You ready for this? Oh, he's going to do the dance the little girl showed us. New construction, house reduction, wall destruction, remodeluction, anything a house could need. That name again is Bolson. Yeah. Bolson Construction. Bolson, Bolson. Shuck ding! There he goes. We knew that dance already because the little girl was so into it. We can do one actually. Yeah, let's maybe something nice like a sign with our name. We get some trees if we want to get some more wood. Let's do that. That'll be 100 rupees, okay? You can shell that out. I'm ready to pay up. Okie doo. Payments due up front. Okie doo. And there they go. They're gonna get into it. This is an interesting cutscene as well. Time for some construction instruction. Oh, Carson, we are on. I'm with you. Here they go. We don't get to see what they did. The construction sounds, I especially like the synchronized at the end. You can tell that they're perfectly in sync. Practically perfect, if I do say so myself. I'm a little jealous. So the trees, I think these will actually grow and become nice. Ooh, we got a hot-footed frog. I don't think we found any of those yet. Kind of tough to find. The tree, we got a little orchard here. We can actually blast this tree in the back that we couldn't do before with all of the apples on it. When we didn't own the house, we couldn't break that down, I don't think. And then now it is ready to be blasted apart because we paid for it, and then it'll grow back. But yeah, we can really just kind of decorate this place up to make it a little nicer. And also, it's a nice place to go if you have any sledgehammers that you want to get for mining. There's multiple ones here. I think we're pretty good on what I might get rid of the spear. Just toss it. It's my yard. I can toss a spear wherever I want. Okay, and to finish up here, I'm gonna teleport all the way back. Like I mentioned, we're gonna head to the stable and finish up there because I want to head into Central Hyrule. I think that's a really exciting place to go early in the game because of how scary it is. It's almost like imagine a field where Lionels roam free all over the place, like Zelda 1, where the Lionels are just, in huge groups. That's kind of how it feels a little bit to try to go through Hyrule Field with all the Guardians protecting the castle. It's pretty scary, but also has some cool stuff to see. So I think we're going to finish up when we get to the stable. Next time I think we'll start with the shrine there, because it is a more complicated puzzle. I was talking about that when I meant that one when I showed you guys the blessing before. Thank you so much for watching. This is one of the easier ways to get back to that stable, I feel, because then I can just glide right off of here, though we got to be a little careful, because we're going to take some damn it, I got to switch off our cool new Tunic just for a moment. It's so shivery. There we are, and we will head down. This is another time where it's like, yeah, you might want to mark this with something so it's easy. I just like having a pin in the general direction so that you know which way to head gliding and you don't miss anything. There's a shrine down there, and that kind of leads towards the Gerudo Desert area, so we're going to hold off on that. I think that is the tallest tower in the game back there. There's a bunch of shrines. We can spot so much stuff, but I am going to head to the outskirts here because I want to get a horse. I think we're going to switch back, unless I find a better horse. I think I'm going to switch back to my old faithful. We can return to Epona in the future. But I also wanted to mention, too, a lot of you guys weighed in on Wolf Link. I really appreciate that. But Wolf Link is going to return in future episodes, so don't worry about that. I kind of held off using him today because, we're jumping around so much, fighting dragons in the air. Lots of stuff that Wolf Link is not really going to be too great at, so I didn't summon him in. And we will get him back, though, when we journey out of this place down to the field. There should be... This is kind of why I missed the shrine, because I completely forgot that it's up on the hill behind the stable. There's just, most of the stables have a shrine that's a little more obvious near them that you can spot, but this one is a little tucked away up here. There it is. But you kind of know, that all of the areas have a shrine. It's just a given when you go to a stable. Thank you guys for watching. Next time we'll go to the Rhoda O Shrine and head down into Hyrule Field. The geese are flying high in the sky, and that means we're going to end out. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this. Maybe subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you next time for more Zelda Breath of the Wild.